This month, our mystery envelope challenge comes from Dawn, and she says, "Hello, friends. For the May 2026 mystery envelope, let's celebrate everything summer. I've included papers from Beach Boardwalk, along with some embellishments from Boardwalk Fun and Sunset Sparkles Sequins. Create a layout with photos of a summer trip, day, etc. Anything about the warm outdoors. Can't wait to see what you create." So here is what we have. This is so adorable. So in this little pack, she has some die cuts of a Ferris wheel, palm trees, and a ticket stub. These little guys go on that Ferris wheel, and I do have the dies for that if I need it. Oh, these fun sparkly sequins and some tickets. This was off of one of the designer series papers in the Beach Boardwalk paper. Oh, this is fun. I love this sun print. It's kind of like ombre if you look at the full sheet. And this looks like cotton candy to me. Palm trees. We don't get a lot of places with palm trees. So I was trying to decide, and this fun, there's that Ferris wheel again. And this is a fun paper too. I do have the whole paper pack. So I was trying to decide what to scrapbook pictures of. And we do have a trip planned out to LA, and we want to go to the beach there. But I'm not sure. It's going to be around the end of October. So weather-wise, I'm not sure how beachy things will be. And we are going up to the lake again. So I thought about bringing in something and doing a layout kind of like I did last summer. I did this layout recently that said Poolside Smiles, and it was from our trip to Geneva on the lake. And I thought I might make another layout because we are going back to this spot this summer, and the girls will all be a little bit bigger. And I did a fun technique with these letters where I put a sticker across and cut out all the letters, and it gave me my title. But then I saved it and backed the letters with some Azure Afternoon, and the light side is showing through. So I have this title. So I was thinking about using this and making another layout that can go with our trip for this next summer. So I think that's what I'm going to do because I really like this title. It was in my stash with all of my papers. So let's get started. So I think I need to make a frame because I have one of the DSPs that was from, I think it was gutted from another layout that I did. And it's about 10.5 inches square. So I am going to gut the back side of Azure Afternoon 2 times. And I did a 1.25 inch frame all the way around because that's what will give me what I need to put down this layout. So let's just kind of dry fit on everything before I glue anything down what I think I want. So here's this title that says Poolside Smiles. I know it's kind of hard for you to see with that striped sticker on it on the video, but it shows up much better in person. The word shows through a lot better, and I will have a close-up at the end of this video of it as well. And it was just that strawberry slush strip of cardstock with the title was just a tad over 2 inches. So I cut it down to 2 inches and then made a matching one for the opposite page that was 2 by 12. And here I'm just taking a sticker from another sticker sheet. I had a full sheet of stickers from the paper pack that I ordered it with, and then I had another full sheet of stickers from the workshop that was the Beach Time workshop that I ordered. And so I had 2 stickers, which is wonderful. So the one made the title and the other one will match it going across, and I just wanted it at the same exact height. And so I'm putting that on, and then I'm going to put it up at the top. The sketch that I have is from Chris Robertson, and she did an amazing sketch camp last year in May. And I think there's another one that's going to be going on this week as well. But she had a sketch from last year, and I'm going to be using her sketch. And so I cut that paper that was ombre with the suns on it to 4 inches wide, and then this one with the pool water I'm cutting to 3 inches by 12, and that the sketch actually showed it at the bottom, and I think I want to use it at the top of my page because of how I want to arrange my pictures. So I did alter it a little bit and just made it work for my layout. So I did cut some photo mats that were from the gutted part of my Azure afternoon, and then I also did some from the scraps I had of the strawberry slush cardstock as well. And then I'm just bringing in these photo placeholders. They will serve as a second layer of matting behind my pictures, and I will just trim my pictures down by a 1/4 inch on the top and the side. So I have 3 4x6, which is what I normally print everything at. And then I have a couple 3x4s and 1 3x3. So, and I figured those small ones, maybe I can feature each of the granddaughters in those 3 that have the strawberry slush outline. I thought that would be fun. So here I'm just going to go ahead and put down my photo mat or my paper on the frame. And I think this will work nicely. I like to use a wet glue to do this because it allows me to wiggle it into place just right. And you probably hear my neighbor running on his gator. I'm sorry about that. I came outside because it is absolutely gorgeous today. It's Memorial Day, and the birds are singing, and so I came outside, but there's all sorts of noises out here too. It's either the dogs inside or something outside, right? So here I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I think the sketch actually called for something a little shorter than 12 inches, but I liked it at 12, so I just left it the full 12-inch length. And I'm going to put this on about 1 1/4 inches in from the side. And then to start putting down the other papers, I'm going to put them 1 1/2 inches from the top, and then I'll just layer the other one underneath this one for the pool water type of DSP print. So the technique that I did where I put the sticker down on the strawberry slush and then cut out my letters, I used the alphabet a la mode dies, and you can use other alphabets as well or other dies to do this type of technique, but I use the alphabet a la mode, and I really like that alphabet because if you have a lot to say, they're very tall and skinny, and so you can fit a lot of letters across on a title. So here are all of my matted photos. I am not going to put too much adhesive on the back of these. That way, when I get my photos back, if they are going a different orientation, I can just kind of twist it a little bit, and that adhesive shouldn't leave too much of a mark, and I can put my photo a different orientation if need be. So I'll just put a little bit of adhesive on the back, and I will secure them a little bit more once I know for sure that I have my pictures going in the right orientation. And then the next thing that I'm going to have to work on are the embellishment clusters. And I usually make like 3 embellishment clusters, and I'm leaving room at the bottom left of this 2-page spread, And then the top right of that left-hand page, just under the title. And then I think the bottom right will have enough in the corner as well. So I pulled out my Beach Time workshop, which is the one that uses the beach boardwalk paper. And I pulled out a lot of the cutouts, the die cuts that came with it. And Dawn had sent us a ticket, and I kind of went with that whole ticket theme. Whether they're going to need tickets to swim or not, I don't know. But usually we don't have to use tickets when we're at the resort to swim. But I figured, I think it's really cute, and it makes for cute little clusters. And we will be using tickets when we go to the little game place to do the go-karts and the putt-putt golf and things like that, possibly. So we'll use tickets on vacation for some of the events maybe, but maybe not for swimming exactly. But you don't have to be super literal with everything that you put on a layout. So I went with the ticket theme, and I'm using that in my clusters. Now, the ones that were the dies that came in the Beach Time workshop were super long, like super, super long. I don't know why you would need a ticket quite that long. So I kind of cut them off, and I figured I can use the ends that have that ticket, and then I'll have the scraps left that I can make more tickets or something like that out of them. It's really easy to make a ticket. You can just take a hole punch and punch the end once in the middle, or you could do it 2 or 3 times on the ends, or you can use smaller hole punches and put some extra ones in. Or I might even have some ticket punches and dies. I'm pretty sure I do. So I can make more out of the scraps. So here I'm just coming in and playing with some stickers. This one I wanted to say Splish Splash because the girls will be in the pool. And I ultimately decided I want to put a sticker that has a sun on it between the splish and the splash. So before you push them down too hard, I just kind of put them on lightly and play with the placement. And then once I know where I'm going to use the words, that's when I stick them down really, really good. And there, it looks like it's all going to fit just perfect. So now I can stick them down pretty good. And I do want to have some extra little things around it. They had these like glimmer stars or something, and I put some of those on that little cluster as well. On the bottom left cluster, I do have a journaling spot that I think will be nice. I like to oftentimes put dimensionals behind my clusters, but that journaling one I probably will not, just because I don't want it to be up on dimensionals if I still need to write something. It's a little bit easier if I put that straight down on the page. It'll make it easier to write when I get to adding photos and everything this summer to this layout. So I do want to explain one thing I did for that DSP that has the suns printed on it, the one that goes up and down. I almost put the yellow instead of the more orange at the top, but when I did, it looked washed out because of the paper that was in the background had that really light yellow as well. It almost blended in too much. So I flipped it upside down and put the brighter sun, the orange part of that ombre print at the top, and then it went down to the softer yellow at the bottom, and I think it still worked. So I usually put the orange more towards the bottom just because of sunsets, and that's when I get more orange in color in the sky. But I felt like this time I needed to put the brighter orange at the top. Now I did pull in one more die for this cluster. It looked like a wave from you know, the water. And so I put that underneath it. It went with that whole water print and everything. And so I pulled that in, and then even though I used dimensionals, I tucked the tail end of that wave underneath my photo mat. I can always put it on top if it doesn't obstruct from the picture, but I just left it underneath because I thought that was the safest bet as well. So here I'm just kind of playing with all of those tickets and tucking them in. I use the scrap piece of paper. That way I can line up that ticket and make it look like it's all one piece and it's all going at the exact same angle. And so I do this very often to line things up. Sometimes I grab a ruler, sometimes I just use a scrap that's laying on my desk, and it's the perfect way to line it up. And so once I get all of these on, the only thing I think I have left to do is add some of those darling little shimmery sequins that Dawn left in our pack for us. So I'm going to add those in, and there was enough that I could add 3 to each of the clusters, and I really like how this turned out. This Beach Boardwalk DSP and sticker sheet are still available on my website, Katie, K-A-T-I, Weeks, W-E-A-K-S, .stampinup.net. And so if you would like to create some really fun summer beach type layouts, go over and check that out while it's still available. And they do still have some stamps and ephemera and different accessories and stuff to go with it. So go check that out. So I hope you enjoyed this. Here's kind of a final look at the whole layout. And if you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you check out the other girls in the Inspiration Collaboration Design team to see what they created, as they got a cute little fun pack of goodies from Dawn this much. Thanks so much, Dawn. I really enjoyed this. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more crafty inspiration.